Welcome back, everyone. So while I'm in the process of completing 2 other videos, I wanted to do another crazy speculation. Now this one's not on script, so if things are a little kerfuffled, I apologize. But hopefully I can present this as clear and as informative, and also as crazy as possible. So I'm going to do a crazy speculation on an allied race. So at the moment, we have a few allied races in-game that we can play now. The Nightborn, High Mountain Tarn, the Lightforged Draenei, and the Void Elf. Now, we know that the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Zandalari Trolls will be added later during Battle for Azeroth. Now, it was also very recently confirmed that the Kul'tiran humans will be joining the allied races, which, of course, and amongst like 90% of other people all said, yeah, that it's probably going to be Kul'tiran humans. It just made sense, especially since they added the Magar Orcs for the Horde. It only makes sense to add Orcs and humans, you know? So now that they've confirmed the other 4, on top of the 4 that we already have, there's also one that people are very speculative about, and that is the Vulpera. Now, the Vulpera have an entire customization options, but Blizzard has come out and said, just because something appears to be playable doesn't mean it's going to. And, okay, so let's go under the assumption, though, that the Vulpera will be playable for the Horde. After all, it makes sense. They'll be the allied race for goblins, considering they use the goblin skeleton. Everything sort of seems to be using the same skeleton. I suppose with maybe the exception of the Kul'tiran humans, but I don't have the alpha. I haven't seen them walk around in a game yet. Maybe they'll walk a little bit more like the Vrykul, more than humans, but who knows. So, the reason I say that the Vulpera are likely as goblins is because they're also working on the goblin updates, right? Like, that's one thing that they said they'd be doing, as well as the Worgen, which will kind of play into my speculation. Now, let's say the Vulpera gets confirmed. Let's say that the Horde gets little tiny furries. What could the Alliance get? Again, we're going just based off the assumption that the Vulpera are playable. I don't want people to think, well, we don't even know that for sure. Well, that's the point of crazy speculations. Hi, I'm Vintage Rhino.
Roger, I like to pretend! Come on!
But what could the Alliance get? Now, it would come down to Worgen, right? The Vulpera would be Goblin. The Goblin would also get their updates. So the Worgen would get their updates, but what would go with Worgen? Now, I made this in the possible allied race ideas. I also talked about how it's possible that they can get Feral Worgen, and also possibly Saberon. But what if there's something crazier that we could look at? Now, of course, these are just ideas. Don't take this as fact. Don't take this as anything except just pure speculation. Now, I want you guys to write in the comments, if you want to. You don't have to play along. What you think I'm going to say. Hit enter, and then just see if you're right. Because I've talked to a lot of people, and nobody seems to be on the same idea path as me. Of course, I'm very weird and, like I said, crazy speculations, right? Like, that's a lot of what I do here. There is a boss in a raid that shares the Worgen skeleton. A lot of people won't remember him. It opens up a whole other path of pure, pardon my French, badassery. I don't know what they say in French. Isn't a fete a butt? I don't remember. Boba Fett, there we go. We'll call it a Boba Fett. Maloriak. Maloriak shares the same skeleton as Worgen. Now you might be thinking, wait. Are you saying we're going to get Dragonkin? Yes. Absolutely. After all, there's a cool boss also in Blackwing Descent, which is where Maloriak is. I believe his name is Chimeron. He looks like a really cool mutated dragon. Now, wouldn't that be cool as a bear form? I'd race change in a heartbeat. But again, like, that's the whole point of this speculation. And it's like, no, well, just to entertain the idea. Okay? Wrathion comes back, says, yeah, I've been working on something that sort of my father's been working on, but not the same. I need to empower dragons in order to combat the Void Lords. That's what he's doing at the Obsidian Shrine. That's why he's so interested in what his father did. Maybe also that's why he went to Draenor. After all, his father, Deathwing, went to our Draenor, or Outland, I should say. I'll just call it Outland, back when it was alive, and, you know, he roosted in Ashran. So it's possible that Wrathion went there for sort of the same reasons. Why did his father pick that? All that he's done is to either defeat the Void Lords and to not make the same mistake that his father made. But I bet you he's very curious. Let's say he gets welcomed back into the Alliance. Oh yeah, by the way, I made these cool mutated dragons. I can empower your humans, sort of like, I guess, the undead, change the humans into undead. He can empower humans or into these other kind of feral dragon-like people. You could have, like I said, Chimeron as the tank form. The travel form, of course, would be a dragon. Rather it be a mini dragon, which I think would be really cute. Rathion's a tiny little dragon. Maybe that's the same size that we are. But of course, I also went under the assumption that the dragons could be druids, which would put an imbalance. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's talk about what kind of classes they could be. Let's just go all out. We're gonna do it. So you make your dragonkin. You're under the command of Rathion, who is the new racial leader of, I don't know what they would be called. But what could they be? Hunters? Absolutely. Monks? Maybe. Rogues? Yes. Shamans? Possible. They kind of twist the elements. But of course, it's been shown in the fact that they have dark shamans. They kind of force the elements. That'd be cool if we can get something like that. Warlocks? Absolutely. Warriors? Yes. I think Druid would be a really cool one for them to have. I think it'd be a huge missed opportunity if they don't. But that means the Vulpera would have to be Druids, and that would kind of water down a lot of Druids. The only reason I didn't say things like Paladins and Priests, it doesn't really make too much sense to have them as that, being bathed in the light, being these weird mutations of nature. The only reason Druid kind of works is because they'd be dragons, right? So those are the base classes. Death Knight, I think, would be also a really cool one. Maybe they could add Death Knight later. I hope that they do. But you have a few classes, not too many. But you don't need too many if you have this cool of a race. And this is what I want Blizzard to do with this. These allied races open up so many possibilities of just these random races to be thrown in. I don't think it'd be too many too soon, even if they keep the Vulpera and the Dragonkin over to the next expansion. Maybe the Twilight Empire, we'll call it. I don't know why I keep calling the next expansion that. Who knows? It's weird. You can also YouTube it, the Twilight Empire. Actually, you can just search my channel for it. It might be the next expansion after. But let's talk about how they would sort of look. I talked a little bit about this before in a very old video. I don't remember the name of the video. It's been that long. This Dragonkin race could have different skin colors. For example, you could pick blue, bronze, red, black, green. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could change how your character looks. And picture, I guess, sort of... I guess they would have to make just like a weird new dragon model. It wouldn't be something that we've seen in game. Like, it wouldn't be like a mutated human. Like, they would look cool. They'd look badass. But the female and the male versions, like, I guess if you take the Demon Hunter, when they change into their form, I guess sort of like that. So they have a little bit of their old self, but not too much, since they're these weird hybrids. Maybe Rathion found a way to empower people and infuse them with the blood of dragons, or infuse them with the essence of dragons. I honestly think that this is where they should go with it. I think this would be awesome. I think it'd be cool. Again, we're just on the speculation train. I needed something to kind of upload while I'm busy sorting through 2 other videos that are a little bit... it's a little bit more time consuming than this one will be. After all, this one's probably just a lot of pictures, maybe some random gameplay in the background. I don't know. Who knows? So lore-wise, they can do it easily. Rathion can find something really easily to turn, people into these weird Dragonkins. Classes, while there are a few, there's a lot of potential. Druids, again, would be a maybe, a really big stretch. But, dragons shapeshift all the time, so maybe it's something that they can do. Customization options opens up a whole other can of just, maybe even like their one hand can be a claw, or like some kind of like weird mutated hand. Who knows? Again, this is where I want Blizzard to do with it. As cool as it was for us to get Lightforged Draenei, it's just Grey Draenei. Void Elves are just, emo Blood Elves. Nightborn are just like skinnied, weird. Like even High Mountain Torrent, we can go all day. But this is what I want them to do with it. These are the allied races that I want. Are these amazing lore-heavy people who join the fight against the Void. I don't want another recolor of Worgen. While I would enjoy the Saberon, if they added this Dragonkin class, I'd probably race change everything I have to. Well, except, no, my warrior's getting race changed to Kul'tiran female humans. Because they're thick. And that's the only reason. But, anyway, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about the Dragonkin class? What do you think about the Dragonkin race? And I know I probably said class a few times throughout this. I meant to say race. I apologize. Again, I'm pretty sure I did a video on how I wanted a Dragonkin class in a while ago. But let's just go with the Dragonkin race. Screw it. We'll do it. Did you like the video? Did you dislike the video? Let me know in the comments below. If there's something you want to see changed or you think that would be better for me to change, please let me know. Again, I am Vengeance Rhino, and I will see you guys later.